Alright guys, so today I'll be talking the story about what happened to Keith Moon on September 7th, 1978. I know this is going to be a hard story for you guys to know, but trust me, it is going to be very upsetting. Unfortunately, I can't show you that one because I'm using bandicam right here, but this video will actually be premiering next year since I forgot to do this one on the actual day because I was homeschooled, not permanently, but temporarily. So might as well tell the story and premiere it on the actual day that Keith died. So apparently, it has been 43 years ever since the drummer of The Who, Keith John Moon, has died from an overdose at just 32 years old. So anyways, let's just start the story about what happened on that day. On September 7th, or September 6th, 1978. It was an easy day for the drummer Keith Moon and his former Swedish model who was his girlfriend Annette Walter Lax. So eventually for that, things are going fine for Keith and his girlfriend Annette. But eventually during that time on September 6th, 1978, Keith and his girlfriend Annette were invited to celebrate Buddy Holly's birthday. Ever since Buddy Holly died in 1959, but that one will be in a separate video about the deaths of the day the music died, where it featured three musicians: Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and Big Bopper. So I would just say Richie Valens was the youngest person who died in this crash. He was only 17 years old, almost 18 years old. Just consider this one as a minor, guys. But anyways, let's just start the story. So eventually about this, when you just search up in the internet what happened on September 6th, 1978. So eventually what I was really going to say about that for this one, like Chief Moon. This was actually Keith's last picture with his girlfriend, Annette Walter Lax. He was alive on that time. They were showing a film on the Buddy Holly story, but sadly, this was the last time Keith was seen alive, and those were the pictures right here. I'm sorry I can't show you the pictures right here. I'm still using bandicam because the bandicam one can't go through that thing already. So eventually, what I was about to say is that yes, Keith and Annette were both invited to see the Who's band play for this. So as you can see right here, Keith apparently did go to this concert, but apparently he just left. He left early. So eventually, the next day, on the 7th of September 1978, Annette Walter was actually cooking something, which Annette told Keith that she was going to cook him lamb chops. However, when Keith apparently said that he didn't want some of the lamb chops, he and Annette began arguing, saying that Keith Moon wanted steak and eggs. But there was some part that you guys don't want to hear about it. I'm sorry I can't really show you about that one because I know Keith just swears a lot. But let me read this one to you guys. I'm not showing this one to you, but let me read it. If you don't like it, you can fuck off. Those were his last words that Keith apparently said to Annette. Before that, Keith apparently took some clomazine tablets, and apparently he took 32 of them. 26 of them were undigested, and 6 of them were digested into his system. Unfortunately for that, the snores apparently made Annette walk away. When Annette was sleeping from the afternoon till around 5 p.m., she saw Keith Moon dead. So eventually, Kirby apparently phoned the flat at around 5 p.m. looking for Moon. However, 15 minutes later, when they tried to restart Keith's heart, Keith was pronounced dead on the scene. So eventually, what I was saying is Annette was crying. She was saying that it won't work. And unfortunately for that, what I was going to mention is Annette really did divorce Keith due to his behavior. But why didn't Annette really divorce Keith in the first place when he's alcoholic or just drunk? Well, the thing is, Annette really just said Keith was like a teddy bear, like a cuddly teddy bear. But apparently, when you just see that Keith wasn't like a teddy bear, he would sometimes go out of control, basically drunk. He definitely has like a destructive behavior and an alcohol addiction, and also drugs. For 10 years, Moon has been trying to control what has become a very dangerous habit. So hemavirin is the type of drug that can only be used in certain hospitals. But once that drug is abused, and once you just eat a lot of these drugs, you can die. And this is terrible for a lot of people. Like, why would they just do something like that? So when Entwistle was actually interviewing in Paris, Annette called the rest of the Who members of the band. Pete Townsend and Roger Daltrey were in shock. And John Entwistle was interrupted by a phone call saying that Keith had died of a drug overdose at just 32 years old. Now, guys, as you may know about this, what I've been mentioning about my last video is Keith Moon did not die at 31. According to that, Tony Fletcher did correct this date, saying that Keith Moon apparently died at just 31 years old. But this was a mistake. So Tony Fletcher was right. So eventually what I'm going to really say is that, yes, Keith Moon did die at just 32 years old from a drug overdose. So apparently hemavirin is the drug that can only save Keith Moon's life if he stops taking drugs or drinking too much of alcohol. But sadly, he didn't get himself clean. Unfortunately, at 5 o'clock, Keith was dead. He was found dead. He choked to death in his sleep as well, and he was lying flat on his stomach, and you can see right here on his hand, he apparently just hold right here on the bed, right here. So what I'll just think about Annette and Keith's relation. Well, for Annette, she couldn't have divorced Keith because Keith was drunk, he was violent, he was going to hurt Annette, which I do believe Keith did hurt his girlfriend, Kim Carrigan. However, Kim Carrigan died of a car accident at 57 years old in Texas in 2006. So eventually, Mandy, who is Keith and Kim's daughter, who was actually Amanda's mother. Don't worry about it. Amanda is still alive. She does remember the fact that Keith Moon had died of an overdose when she was very young. I noticed her saying that Annette was going to be really upset when Keith was just trying to be violent, including Kim. I'll just say that Keith was like getting violent. He was getting like out of Kim's nerves. Like, I don't know what's like happening. Is Keith just trying to go crazy, or is Keith like trying to like do something that he wants to do? I mean, Keith just wants to do these things he wants to do. Not to mention, not to brag, but Keith apparently does get a lot of himself like out of control. He would just like overdose like a bottle of champagne with Covisos and amphetamines. But there was no hope for rehabilitation since Keith had a fear of going to a hospital. And that's why he never went to a hospital, because he just takes the medicine simply and dies. I mean, what a stupid thing. I can't believe Keith would do a thing like that just because he wants to overdose himself and kill himself. This is seriously out of his mind. But thankfully, what I'm going to say is that yes, Keith is dead, but it's been great sadness to see like why did Keith die at just a very young age in 1978. But anyways, guys, this bandicam is going to go out soon in the next 10 seconds. But this is me, Wheeling the Tomboy Gamer, signing off.